Okay, cool. So if you guys have any questions along the way, make sure you ask them in the chat and I will be sure to answer them. We're going to keep this fairly simple. I did a Zoom like this, I don't know, probably 2 years ago, talking about over, and that was back before you could share your phone screen to Zoom. So I was like trying to show on my phone, and I'm really bad with lighting. So I'm excited to do this again and kind of go over some basics and some tricks I've learned that I really use to implement on making sure that my story posts are as good as I think they can be, and then being able to really see things that I like on other leaders' stories and then personalize it instead of just using it the way they used it. And you can pretty much take any slide that you see and make it personalized and make it work for you if you know how to within over. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this going and pull up on my phone, share screens. But thank you guys for hopping on. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, make sure you guys ask, and I will do my best to answer them as we go. Cool. All right, so over is this yellow app right there. If you guys don't know what it looks like, if you don't have it that far yet, that's what the app looks like. So we're just go super basic. Like when you have a new distributor, they can watch this first part and learn how to use the app. We're gonna be super basic. And then I'm just gonna walk you through a couple of different projects, and we're just gonna look at it kind of as we go through it. Bear with me, guys. We just got back from Disney a couple hours ago, and so I'm exhausted. So bear with me if this is a little bit rougher getting through, but I think there's gonna be a lot of good information. So when you open up the app on the Discover tab, I really don't use this. And we're gonna only be working with the free version of the app. I know you can pay, and that's gonna give you a lot more resources, but I do everything I do with just the free version. And so you can 100% have just as good stories as top leaders by using the free version if you can learn a couple of tricks to do so. And I'm all about saving some money. So we go over here to the templates. We can look through any of them that have this banner that says free. We can use as a template without having to pay. So there's some here. If you click on video, it'll bring up templates for video. And again, anyone like this first one that says free, we can totally use as templates. Personally, I very rarely use templates. I kind of use my own stuff, but getting started, sometimes that's really good because it already has things laid out and you can just kind of replace as you need. So then we have here, if we click the middle button, go back, this plus sign, it pulls up your project. You can hit image, and that's where you're going to pick an image to be your background, or you can click video and put a video as your background. You can do it with transparent, white, or black background. And then if you go to your face at the bottom right, that's where you're going to see all of your previous projects, so you can go back and edit them or keep working. So let's keep looking. We're going to go here. We're just going to do a white background. Again, we're just gonna do basics first, and then we'll go more in depth on everything. And so the image button down here, we can go and we can add, let's see for the Zoom, add a photo. So we can add a photo to our thing. Once we have a photo, we then can, we can edit it, we can adjust it, we can do different crops. We can, make it a circle and have it like that, like however we want to crop it. We can then go through and we can add a shadow. So it's got like the little shadow under it. We can do the opacity. This is really good when I'm posting something about our giveaway or something like that in like a winner or a conversation, maybe sometimes even before and afters, or like a corporate email, and I'll post a picture of myself and I'll have it kind of faded out so you can kind of see the background through, so it's not as aggressively slapped on top of my photo. It's real simple there. It's really probably the only time I use that. We can rotate more. So what I love is you can just kind of like catty corner it, but you can flip it. And so this is sometimes really good on certain photos. Like if I was putting it here, it would work, but I was going to put it on this corner. If I flip it, it then would fit a lot better. So having that little tool is a huge help. We can blur it. I love doing this with before and after photos because I can take and I can blur out a before and after photo. and posted it on my story and be like, tap to see the results, and then put the unblurred version right after it. And so that's a real quick, like, little thing that you can do. 10 nudge, I don't really use those. This one, mask, is my bread and butter. I use this on every photo. So like this first one, it's going to be a hard line, so you can just make anything in your picture go away. The second one is going to be a soft line, so I can like blur the edges. And then the third one is going to redo it in a soft way. And the last one redoes it in a hard way. And what I love about this, there's an app that you can just upload your photo in, or not an app, a website, and it'll completely take the background out for you. But you can also come in, and I can remove the background myself, zooming in and just walking through it. This is not perfect. If I was doing it, I'd do it a little slower. But for example, you come in here and then I can go through the whole photo and like make it completely go away. So I could then come back, and make this go away, and then I could have just the outline. So that's a little trick you can do with that. Okay, so that's pretty much all you can do with your photos. And then we can add text. Okay, so once you have your text in, if you go ahead and put it this way, instead of trying to change the font, you'll be able to change the font and placement, see what it looks like on this screen. And it is only going to show you the free fonts here at the bottom. And a lot of the fonts have, if you swipe up on them, additional fonts for that style. Again, all of these are going to be the free fonts. So I can come in here and I can change all the things and scroll all the way through. There's lots of fonts to choose from. So we're just gonna leave it on this one. Oh. Next, we've got the style. So you can pick the alignment, the caps, curves, space. So if I wanted to like make it into a circle, I can bend it. I can bend it the other way. Like seriously, you can do absolutely anything here to your wording and the alignment. We can change the color of our font. You can also do a dropper, so you go and find the color if you have other things on your screen. Let's see, back. You can change the size, or you can just like drag it and automatically do it. So you can change the shadow, and then once you add a shadow, you can then move the way it like looks. Like I can pull it up and I can pull it over. Again, we can make it with the opacity down. We can rotate it and flip it. And you can do the same thing here and like cover it up and uncover it. I'm trying to go through the basics fairly quickly, but I wanted to make sure we included those for anyone watching the replay. So the next tab is graphics. The biggest key here is you can get a lot of graphics, but just include free when you're looking. So if I want a circle, I can do free circle. And then I can find anyone. If I want a solid circle, it doesn't matter what it looks like, because I can go in and I can change the color. And so I can make it polka dots and I can add it here. And once I have one thing, if I want to do another, instead of having to go completely remake it, I can click on it and hit duplicate. And that's going to give me a second one. And then I can, make that one bigger or smaller or whatever and do like that. Let's see, we could do free car. There's like car graphics. Or, we can do a free coffee cup. Like there's tons and tons of graphics you can do for free, just including that word. Okay, right button. Like free line. I do a lot of lines, and you can use them as, barriers or dots or whatever, build shapes, all of that for free. You just got to look for it. And then if you find something that you're going to use regularly or something that you like on the graphic, you can hit the little plus sign, and it will add it to this first collected graphics when you open the app. I don't really use shape or video. So that pretty much goes over very, very quickly all of the basics of how to actually use the app. So now we're going to make a couple of graphics, or start making a couple of graphics to kind of go more in depth over stuff. So this is a graphic I got off of Taylor Kaufman's story she posted, and we do giveaways as well. Actually, this is mine. So I got this off of hers and then changed it So the picture I'm going to add to it, it's going to be the same picture that's already there because I didn't realize I saved for you guys the one I did. So we're going to take this though, and I'm going to change the giveaway amount. I'm going to change the name, and I'm going to change the photo. Now to do so, it's actually surprisingly simple. We're going to go back. Instead of adding a white background, we're going to add an image, and I'm going to go pick that image that we're going to edit. So this is a base photo. This is literally something I just screenshotted off of someone's story. And so to do, it's such little things that we just don't always think about. So we're just going to take and use a rectangle. So just search free rectangle. And this will be one of the first ones that come up. And so it's uneven. So I'm going to custom crop it to make it an even rectangle. And then I'm going to just make it white. And so I can take this and I can put it over absolutely anything like it's white out. So let me scoot it over a little bit. And then I can just duplicate it and keep moving it around until I get just the parts I want covered. Make 2 of these. Duplicate. And boom, there's no more $sign there. There's no amount. So I can go then and I can put in, then we're giving away, you know, say $1,500, and I can go and put it in and pick what font I want to use. So maybe I want one similar to the giveaway. Let's see, we'll go with this one. And I can have that in there. And so we're going to do the exact same thing to change the name out. So we would just go, and I'll search it for you guys. The free rectangle. It's the first one that comes up. Take it and crop it to make it a rectangle with like even size. Make the color my background color. So if the background color wasn't white, I could just click this dropper and drag it over whatever color I wanted it to be. But luckily it's white on this one. And take it down again, just resize it to whatever I need to cover this up without covering up anything else on here that I'm wanting. Okay, we'll just leave that. So that one's got like the little edge into the pink. Super easy to fix. Instead of trying to redo it, I'm going to just come back in here to this masking tool, zoom in a lot, and get gone. And out fits perfectly. And so then to add a photo over this, we're gonna go and find the photo that we want to add. So my giveaway photo here. Oh, did I not click it? I did click it. My phone's frozen. Okay, so we're gonna add the photo without my phone freezing. Cool. So I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna crop it down because I want it to fit better. So I'm just gonna take the, no, actually, I think it's fine. I don't think I have to crop it. So then I can just take it and fit it in. So square it up. And just like that, it looks pretty much as if it was mine. I mean, I should probably scoot it over a little bit. Get it fit in just a little bit better. And just like that, I took someone else's story, someone else's giveaway that was already done that I liked. And instead of using exactly what they had, I completely made it my own. And so then we can take it a step farther, because if you guys noticed, the graphic for tonight's Zoom was also this template. And so to do that, we're going to do everything we just did, but a little bit bigger. So I'm going to come and I'm going to take this whole side out. I'm going to do it again. Take the whole top out, make a smaller one to get the rest of this. And then I'm going to do another one just on top of the phone to fill it up. And boom, I have an entire blank graphic I now can use for my post. So I can use this for anything. I can go as farther to crop out the phone, or to save it and crop out the phone, apply it to a different photo if I want it in a different place. But it took that entire graphic that was not mine, and now I can completely do it up at the exact way I want just by seeing something in someone's story. It's really so dang simple. So next one we're going to look at again. So this picture of Stephanie Dunn, I loved the way it looked. There was a couple other girls who had very similar ones. So I was like, well, how can I take this set? Because there were several photos in it or several like stories that looked very similar to the style. And I was like, well, I want one to go with it. So using this as inspiration, I'm going to get a picture and my before and afters, and I'm going to make my own version of this, you know, using the app. So we're going to go make that go away. We're going to do a white background. We'll scroll over and make it story sized. Actually, I don't need a white background. I'll use go straight with the image. Okay. So I'll pull up, I'll use this photo. So she was, if we look, she was more on the side. So I'm going to make my photo where I'm more to the side just by zooming in on it. Okay, at the top it says, who's ready to get wasted? That's cute. So I'm going to make mine, who's ready to get wasted? Put across the top. Okay, do it black. Let's find a similar font as that one. I think this one's gonna be kind of close. Okay, and then so she's got this little banner behind it. I should have seen that first. So we can take and go back to that graphics we had, that free rectangle that we had saved, crop it back down to be a rectangle. And make sure if you guys have any questions as I'm going, because I feel like I'm just kind of buzzing through, to ask them and I will try to stop and answer. And so let's see if I can move this down even better. Okay, so I'm gonna make my banner across the top like she had. I want to make mine a little bit thinner because my hair is just too tall. So make it thinner, put across, and then hers was white. So I'm going to set the color to white, and we're going to take that opacity and we're going to turn it down, just like hers, where you can still kind of see through it. Now you can see through mine. And so since I made the text before the graphic, when I put it here, it's going to go behind it. But we can do that super simple. We can just click on it and duplicate it. That's going to then put it as a new something created after that. So I can make this one go away. So I've got my top looking similar to Stephanie's. What else she had? Then she had her personal results. So I can type that out. If I could spell. All right. That in black right here. Then I can come down to image and I can put another image on top of the one we're working with. So I can come and grab my before and after, and make sure you guys are using corporate approved before and after photos when you're creating your content. For time's sake, I just grabbed this one from my camera roll instead of the one out of Connect app. But make sure if you're going to actually post it that you have corporate approved before and afters. And then at the back, it talks about, like the bottom, she talked about, you know, no crazy diets. So I could put no crazy diets, yada, yada, yada. And I can type all that out and put it down here at the bottom. And even though it's not going to be the exact same, it's still going to have a similar flow. So if I put this along with other stories that look like it, it's going to fit in versus being totally off base. So what's the next thing? All right, so let's take something like this. Again, super simple of how we're going to remake it. It's pretty much all I'm doing is showing you some things of how to remake it, and hopefully we learn that way a little bit. So this is like a screenshot for Instagram. So I did not take one of those. So we'll pull that up real quick. Instagram. Screenshot it. Okay. We're gonna add an image of my Instagram. Now I'm gonna crop it down because on hers, she doesn't have the bottom in it. So I wanna make that go away, and she doesn't have the time or her like handle. So I'm gonna crop that out of mine so it'll fit good, and I should be able to now just pull it over, fit it pretty much directly in, and size it up, straighten it up, all that. And I have a story slide. So simple to take something that I just saw in someone's story, and instead of being like, wow, that's really cool, but like, how could I Very quick. Now it's my personal story as well. Okay. Okay, so this one, Morgan Martin posted. This is actually the slide I'm using this month for my distributor enrollments. But when she posted it, it had the enrollment little icons over this 60%. And so we're gonna, go back through and we're gonna do the same thing that we were doing before to fix that. So we're just gonna do a free circle. Should have saved one of these. I used it. No. While we're here, that's how we save it to our little clipboard. Again, we can change it to any color. So hers is black, and I'm going to fit it to be the circle. And then I'm going to go over here to this masking button, and I'm going to take out the center so I can see the words. Oh, a little too much. Oh, put it back. And just like that, I have that entire circle back. So it is completely full. Then I can add in my rectangle and again, crop it back down. So it's a perfect rectangle instead of having these jagged edges. And I can take those and then go back through over each of these enrollments, cover it up, change the color. This is where we would use the dropper. Use a little dropper, find the background, and boom. And I would just do it again to cover up the rest. And then I got a brand new story post that I can use, even though it already had parts of it missed out. And then if I want to use it next month instead, I can take this and I can just put it over the top and boom, I can put a whole new month on it and then use this next month, even though it was something originally that would have pieces of it. I fixed it almost entirely because you can catty corner another piece to make that little white dot at the top go away. And it gives you, again, a resource that you can see out of someone else's story and then take and completely create to be your own. Again, with this, a similar thing. So this one on Cheyenne Knox's page. As a promotion announcement, I did this with my girls earlier this month. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. So we're just going to add a photo. I know this stuff is kind of redundant. We're just very similar for each thing, but that's really, all of this is so simple to do. We just don't talk about it enough. So I'm going to crop this down because it's not going to fit very well. Okay, so I'm going to size it up to cover the background photo. And then I'm going to go back to that masking tool. Ooh. Slide the whole thing over. Okay. So at the bottom, we're going to go back to the masking tool and we're just going to zoom in on the bottom. And I'm going to make this whole little bottom and the tape piece where we can see it. And then I'm going to go back through and fix up the edges. Okay, so then we're going to take the inverse of it. Zoom in, we're just gonna fill it back in where the color needed to be. And you can, like I said, you can literally at this point with just using these small tools, and if you use more time than I'm using right now, kind of rushing through it, you can make it pretty much look flawless going through, where you literally cannot tell that you were not the original creator. But you can take this, and so anytime you see something in someone's story and you're like, oh, I would love that if it didn't have this, or if it didn't have their phone number on it, or if it didn't have their picture on it, you could save anything and then recreate it from there to be your original content. So I take it and boom, I have my own announcement photo. I can even go back in and I can take these little black boxes, take a box, crop it down to be a rectangle, make it black, and I can change up any of the information on this box. I can take and I can completely fill it back up. I think that black is a little different than black. So I will match it. So we have the same shade black. And I can take this and I can just duplicate it up and I can fill up this And then now I can add whatever information I want my announcement to be. Maybe someone got their shopping spree or someone's charted for a promotion. I now can use this graphic to announce absolutely anything. Okay. Just did that one. All right, so this one I took from Courtney. This one I wanted to show you guys because it's a little harder because it does have her in it. Where the other graphic, we just had to throw a circle on it. This has got a whole dang person we got to figure out. And so what I would do here is, what would I do here? Let me think this one out. I don't know, actually. I probably wouldn't use this one. You can take and like do boxes over where she's standing and things like that, or put a picture over it. Yeah, we could do that. We could do a picture. Oh gosh. Now, I would recommend at this point going and using the website to completely take the background out of your photo. That's what we would do here. Instead, I'm just going to like blur it down. So it's just an outline. You can 100% take the entire background out of a photo just here and over, but it is going to take you a minute to do so. Before that little app or the website thingy, I don't remember what it is, but I will look it up and put it in the chat when we're done. So you guys have the website to go to. That it literally, you just add your photo and it completely makes it go away. So I'm going to make this cover up almost all of her. So now it's just me, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to make a free rectangle. If I click the right thing. So anytime you're like looking up any graphic, I'm telling you to search the word free in the graphic and you can find almost anything you need. And if not, you can get it off Pinterest or Google and still make it work. So I'm going to put there, and this is where I can put my welcome to. I just realized I was coming up a word. Let's go back a little bit so you can see that. Boom, so I can put welcome Sarah. And then now I have my own graphic, and you can't even tell that there's another person standing on the thing. Like there's so many ways to work around literally any obstacle that's in the photos. Okay, I wanted to talk about this one. All right, so I was asked the other day for a copy of my enrollment announcement, and I actually made this just using other people's stuff. So we're gonna walk through how I made this. Oh, okay, so it does have a background, which it did not originally, but for this one, I can at any point in time go in and I can change it. So if I wanted to do, actually, I'm gonna add another image, a different background, I can come down and I can pick any other background. So we're gonna add this one because it's at the top. And I can take this and completely change up my whole photo by just adding a new background to it. And I can come and make a new enrollment tab, cropping it down. There's literally nothing you can't see that you like and want for your business so that you can't then go get and find a way to make it work for your business. Like you don't have to be extremely creative to have extremely creative looking story slides. You just have to be resourceful when you're doing it. Okay, so I'm gonna make the image go away. I'm just gonna add a white rectangle over this, and then I'm going to go in and super zoom. Okay, let's see. There's one here. Okay, so I can add back all this to cover it. Okay, so now again, I've got a pretty basic background here. I can work with how I want. And then work from there. So I even took something with another person in it, another background in it, and completely made it look entirely different. If I wanted, I can use, I don't know if I still have the animal print that I used originally on it. It was just something that I went on Pinterest and found a background to use that I liked. Let me look if I have that still saved. Oh, I do. Cool. So I can even make it even better. So I can take this, put it over here in that white space, take the opacity way down. And that looks pretty much like an entirely new slide from something that I just, screenshotted out of someone else's story that had their photo on it and their information on it. And I was able to completely now have a brand new resource that me and my team can use. So there's, like I said, there's really nothing that you can't take and make your own off of someone else's story. So did you guys have any questions? I felt like that was a lot at once. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat real quick. If not, I was trying to keep this close to 30 minutes because I don't want it to be too long to go back and like rewatch for those people who weren't able to hop on. But it's very simple things. It's just, covering things up, knowing how to use the tool to like make it disappear, how to change like the opacities and stuff like that. It's very simple little things that you can take and completely elevate your story game. You can make all your friends think that you have these awesome original contents when really you're just doing the same thing we do with posting a lot, where we're taking someone else's work and then we're just, adding something else to it. We're taking it, we're changing the words, we're making it our own. And it's a huge game changer when you can start doing this with your stories, because then it's not looking copy and paste. If I follow 10 It Works reps, I'm not going to see the same thing on everyone's story, because you're taking the time to tweak it, to change it up, and to make it personalized the same that way we want to do with our posts. And so very simple tips. Hopefully that kind of helped clarify it, make things a little bit easier for you guys to amp up your stories. And hopefully you guys learned a bunch. I'll have this up on my YouTube tonight.